Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I plan to walk around the yard and just kind of check on all my plants. We've had so much rain lately that it's really taking a toll on my garden. A lot of established plants, of course, they're going to be fine, but there's a lot of plants that were new this year, and so I'm just going to walk around and take a look at them and highlight those that are not faring well and those that have done tremendous with all this rain. We've had record rainfall for the month of May, and it's now early June. So anyway, it rained last night again, it rained this morning, and it's not like just light rainfall. It is torrential rains. Trees are falling down around the city. They're having to open floodgates and flood certain areas because of the water level. The water really has nowhere to go, that the water table is so high and saturated that even the water that's sitting in your yard that normally just drains within a few hours is sitting because it just has nowhere to go, and it hasn't been hot enough and dry enough for long enough for it to dry up. So these are kind of scary conditions. If you live in a flood area, this is when floods can occur with all this, heavy rainfall that just is consistent. I would say we've probably had rainfall for, we've probably had two real dry days in the last probably 3 weeks. It's just been quite a rainy season. Monsoon. If you lived in I would say in place like, Okinawa or in Korea or other places like that where they actually have monsoon seasons, we've had a monsoon season. So anyway, let me show you what's doing good and celebrate those. And then sadly, I know there are some that have already perished. So let me show you those as well. And maybe you'll be able to learn from my mistakes. All right, let's get to it. Okay, let's start on my front porch. Of course, all this area is doing well. You can see that the water's still sitting, and there's really nothing I can do about that. I have, we had a storm this morning, so I have to clean up now. All this has been blown around. But of course, the boxwoods do well. Never worry about them. They've been through so much. Rose bushes are doing well. Hostas are doing well. Nothing to complain about. This is a gardenia right here, and it appears to be okay. It's got some yellow leaves, but it's hanging in there. Again, the roses are good. Potted plants, of course, they're fine. But you can see where like water's just starting to sit. And it rained so heavy. Look, the sand, crushed gravel that I put underneath the bricks, it was such heavy rains, it just forces it up and out. And I don't know where it's going once it comes up. I mean, you can see it's there as well. So the rain has just been quite a lot. Oh, check that out. That's blooming. That's pretty, but that's not in the ground. That sedum is not in the ground yet. Lantana seems to be okay. Butterfly bush is starting to show some yellowing of some leaves, like the lower leaves are getting lighter. I need to come and clean those blooms up. Yeah, my roses are okay. At least they're not showing any sign of disease. But all this stuff looks fine and good. Let me pick this up real quick. Oh, weed. Oh, that's not. Oh, all right. I got to come out here and weed. It's been raining so much, I haven't been able to do my weeding. So the Mahonia is fine. Of course, it's an evergreen. It should be fine. That is Speedwell, both the purple and the white. I mean, the rain has squished the white some, but it'll bounce back. But doesn't appear to be rotting out. There is some yellowing in the middle of that, and we'll walk around to that side in a second. Barberry's fine. Again, potted plants are fine. I think I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to remove the monkey grass. I don't think I want it as a border. I've come to that decision. But on to the next. The salvia is definitely showing signs with yellowing of leaves. Hopefully it dries up because they really don't like wet feet. I may have to just pull them up temporarily and just protect them. The agastache is definitely showing signs. It doesn't like its life right now, and so I will have to come and probably pull this up. I just don't want to risk it. And you can see this right here, all this starting to die back. Now that could also be a slugs taking advantage of the wet weather, but I'm going to pull it up. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So the hint of mint is doing well, the abelia. Of course, the salvia seems to be doing good, and it has a lot of visitors on it right now. You can see that bumblebee, but its leaves are starting to yellow some. The penstemmon's fine. This tropical plant, which is a Diplodina, it's doing fine. My oh my goodness, if I hadn't wanted to talk about it, it would have came Dusty Miller. The Dusty Miller all around my yard is starting to rot out. It doesn't matter where it's planted. I don't think it likes, I mean, even look at the leaves, they're green, and they're normally not green. Angelonia's fine. This agastache over here is doing better, but it is, I do believe it sits up higher, and this little area had already been amended once. So things over here should do a little bit better. But look at the water, I mean, look at the erosion. I need to come back in here and get this filled up because we've just had so much rain, and heavy rain. It's not just rain, it's heavy rain. Yeah, I see weeds, and this is not a day for picking weeds, but I can't not come back and clean that up. I just can't let this go. Can't let this go. It's gotta come out. All right, that's good enough for now. I'll come back and finish it, but had to take some of its strength away. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Look at all that water just sitting. And I normally don't have water just sitting in my yard. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, my poor roses. Okay, salvia's looking good. Penstemmon's fine. Again, container plants are doing great. That salvia's fine. And wow, so well, you'll see it. Let me go back over there. Red fountain grass is fine. Of course it would be. Zinnias are okay. Got lots of weeds that I need to come back and pull. Butterfly bush, a little on the yellow side. But that salvia, I mean, the blooms, that one probably needs to come out. I'm not 100% certain, but I might take it out preemptively. Well, isn't that cute? Looks like just yellow buttons. And this is, oh gosh, I can't remember. It's a daisy. It's, I'll try to put the name on the screen. Can't believe I keep forgetting it. But this was, and the other one on the other side had already rotted. But see, it rotted from the roots. And this was the, delphinium. So, and those seed heads, I wonder if they have seeds in them. I should probably take these little seed heads real quick, see if I can dry them out. I don't know if they were able to make seeds or not, but I'll take them just in case. But yeah, this is one of the casualties. There's nothing, I couldn't save the other one either. I pulled it out of the ground, I still couldn't save it. But look at that green little, those are still green. Anyway, I'll come back in and finish it up. Let's go over here real quick. Of course, everything there is doing well. My husband had work done. On the sidewalk to prevent the water from sitting. And the best part we did was this little sidewalk part right here. It really did help. But the rest of this, I just don't know that I would spend the money to have a sidewalk raised unless it was like dramatically fallen into where it was a true tripping hazard. Ours was not a true tripping hazard yet. He just doesn't like the water sitting there, but fix one, and then, I mean, you'd have to fix the entire road to really make it truly worth it. Oh my God, Osh, oh, look at all that. Oh my gosh, that is a lot of crabgrass in there. I've got to get in there and get that cleaned out. Ugh, don't look, y'all, that was terrible. But we've had so much rain that the weeds truly are like taking over, and like still haven't come and gotten this grass out, and I need to do that. So it's also taking advantage. But my Coreopsis ground cover one is blooming. It's pretty little yellow flowers. This is a perennial. It comes back every year. And the actual name is Moonbeam Threadleaf Coreopsis. Moonbeam Threadleaf. So the leaves are super fine. And I have another one in my backyard. So that is Autumn Joy sedum, and it's doing fine. It's been in the ground probably 3 years now. So it's probably well established with its roots. Oh, my rock fell. Uh-oh. Mud. Crabgrass. Ow. I'll have to really come out here and work one day. Gara's fine over there. The spirea is doing fine. Even though hibiscus do love moisture, this one is showing a lot of, I don't know what that is, but I will have no trouble ripping it out if it gets worse. This hibiscus is doing fine. In fact, it's setting buds. So now it's also getting eaten up by whatever bug is loving life over here. And of course, all this is always done well. I'm not worried about that. And I can't remember what that little green plant is, but it has red flowers, and I got it from a plant seller last year, and I didn't think it would come back, so I didn't care to, keep this tag. I thought it wouldn't come back. Okay, let's go to the other side. All right, all that's, look, that's all self-seeded celosia right there. All that celosia, which I'll be pulling a lot of it up because in order to get all the crabgrass out, which grows like crazy. I just cleaned this out not too long ago. So this crabgrass is just trying to take over, but everything looks good here. All right, back up here, Agara's fine. The lantana's okay. Now see, my Dusty Miller again is starting to show signs of having too wet of feet. It does not like that. Daylilies are fine. Oh look, our impatiens that we planted the other day are doing good. They don't seem to be affected right now from the rain. Now our orange marmalades look like they're taking a beating, but I think they'll perk up once it dries out a little bit. I don't think they're gonna rot out. And then our imperial blue leadwort, poor little flowers are all over the ground. Like the rain was so heavy that it knocked their little blooms off. And then, of course, my cleome got one standing erect and the others are falling over. And in the last video I did, I meant to put a picture of these in their fullness. So I'll see if we can upload that picture and insert it. Both the Cape leadwort and the cleome. That way you can see what they look like. And I think Scott tried to upload a picture of the orange marmalade in their fullness from last season. And for some reason, I didn't see it pop up. So I'll have him do that again. So, honey, don't forget, this is where you need to put those little insert pictures. Okay, so Daylily's doing good. This rose is doing good. That rose is still showing yellowed leaves. This is goldenrod in that pot. Of course, it's going to do fine. Penstemmon's doing good. Butterfly bush, well, in my last video, you heard me call it the beast. That beastly thing is doing fine. Daylilies are doing fine. I've got lots of echinacea growing down here. Another penstemon. I don't know what variety off the top of my head, but it has a lot of pretty seed heads. Aren't those pretty? How they're like a burgundy red, but those are the actual flowers. Anyway, pretty. Yeah. Just walking out here, I'm getting overwhelmed with the amount of weeds that I've seen, y'all. They grow so fast. Okay, I've got zinnias intermixed with my echinacea. I gotta see the zinnias here, and then here's the echinacea. But to me, that's pretty. I might let that be, but I did have a little trail. Had a walking trail because I have a water spout back there, and so I have this walking trail, but it's getting all overgrown with these plants and flowers. So I really need to come in here and do a good cleanup and decluttering of this space. But everything, because of the rain last night, it's all just knocked over. Usually this is standing straight up. Oh boy. I mean, I'm just looking at all the little weeds and the grass getting in there. Oh, I really hate seeing that right there. My gladiola flopped over like that. Oh, a dragonfly is over there on the top of that. Can you see that? You can probably hear that wind. Oh, he's pretty strong holding on. Oh, strong little dragonfly. All right. Lots of water. Those are Bidens, and they're doing fine. My roses are doing fine. The Transcendia is doing fine. Transcendentia, however you pronounce that. Transcantia, I think that's what it's called, Transcantia. It's also called Moses in the Cradle, I think. I think that's a layman's term for it. This coreopsis is taller, so it got knocked down by the rain. But look how strong and sturdy that echinacea is. Some zinnias popping up for me outside of the border. That's okay because I'm increasing the border for it, so it'll be good. My rainbow euphorbia has bloomed. They're not, they're nothing to write home about, so I would probably even come in. But they're kind of funny or cute, like flapping in the wind. Oh boy, my dahlias seem to be okay with the amount of rain. They don't look like they've been hurt at all. And my hibiscus is doing well. My Althea Rose of Sharon is not blooming that I can see, but soon. Some more zinnias have sprouted up, I see. And my larkspur, well, it does have some yellow leaves, but hopefully it'll perk up. That agastache is doing fine. I don't see any yellowing. So this agastache much better than the other ones in the front yard. And there's a container in there. I need to come back and get that out. Again, the Dusty Miller does not like this amount of rain. Look, one's already rotted out right there. Got some marigolds popping up out here. Some pineapple, they're pineapple cherry tomatoes. They have the paper. They have the paper skin on the outside. I keep saying I'm going to move this, and then it keeps raining, and the thing's too heavy to move. I'm such a wimp. Got some cosmos planted back there that I did by seed, and they seem to be doing okay. And that's a hibiscus red one that I still need to get planted up. Let's go over to the backyard. Real quick before we go to the backyard. Okay, so the rosemary's hanging on. The onions are actually starting to perk up where the stems are starting to stand straight up, so that's a good sign. The salvia is doing much better here than in the front. The cantaloupe seems to be okay. The cucumber looks okay. Tomatoes look okay. Tomatoes look okay there. Everything's looking good. Everything in the garden looks fine. Just a lot of moisture, and I still need to get this area covered. But yeah, so that's a zucchini or a squash, one of them. And that's a zucchini and squash. And it looks like that came apart. So I'm going to have to put that back together. And look, there are branches down on the ground, and I know it's because of that tree up there. And the limb should not, I mean, a limb did fall in here, y'all, but I don't think a big limb will fall. And if it does, I'm hoping it doesn't hit my panels. Hopefully this is strong enough to hold whatever happens. But anyway, all this looks good. That echinacea back there is just so pretty, y'all. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm glad I didn't rip them out. And you can see that my cucumber is looking to latch on. I came out yesterday and unlatched it from my peppers, you know, whatever's closest. And I'm trying to get it to reach over because I didn't want to dig this out, but I'm trying to get it to the trellis as best as possible. I don't know what this is. What is this? Oh, powwow white. That's for echinacea. But the tomatoes are doing good. And they seem to be going to, look, that one got blown over, so now it's going to naturally go towards the trellis, the one on the very end. Ooh, check out that onion. Its bulb is getting bigger. And there's that one red one. Oh, the wind must have blown the tarp off. Now all that stuff is wet. That's what I was trying to avoid. Oh, wait a minute. What we got here? We got something growing, and I don't remember what it is. Some strawberries, but I don't see any strawberries on them. That strawberry plant has not done well in its blooming. Oh no. Oh, one of my mandarins fell off. Stupid wind. Beating everything up. All this stuff is great and fine. That Chinese pistachio is growing real nice. I cannot wait. Oh, I just cannot wait for the fall. It's such a pretty tree, y'all. This rose is doing good. Let's go in the backyard. Oh, and look. Welcome to my backyard. Greeting you upon your entrance are parrot lilies. Hello. And I've got a whole stand of them. And I pull them out, and they just keep coming back. Here's some more of that coreopsis, that threadleaf coreopsis I was telling you about. Some more Bidens. I mean, my phlox is still standing upright after all that heavy rain. I'm going to look up and tell you which phlox this is. This, I just want to say, is a star in the garden. It's hot. It's humid. It's heavy rain. It's, you know, you talk about the worst weather, and it keeps standing out. It does have a fence right behind it, but that wind also can go this way. So it's doing great. Love it. Over here I still have things I need to get potted in the ground, but that butterfly bush is doing good. Maples are doing good. That salvia, we'll see. The polka dot plant is still coming up. Came back from last year. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn around so fast. Now the denim and lace, the bottom leaves are yellow. I know it's getting way too much water. This is an amended soil, so it should be okay. It will dry out. We will not have this rain continue, I promise. I know it will eventually dry out. There's that blue Cape leadwort. Sorry. My gay feather is flopped over. but I think it'll sit back up, I'm hoping. It's got such pretty flowers. But everything is fine here. I don't see anything rotting out. Everything looks good. Larkspur. Those leaves were already kind of yellow on the bottom, so we'll see. Agastache, but that's in a pot. But okay, so look, they're toast. I don't even think I can save them because the way that their leaves are drooping. These ones, I can probably save this plant right here, this Dusty Miller, but I cannot save these. They're probably gone. I'll pull them up just to check and make sure, but if they have, oh, why are you clogged up? Tip you over and let you drain out. This is why it's good to walk around after heavy rains, because I would have, it's not raining, but when the wind blows, all of the rain from the tree leaves comes flying at me. All right, let me get to this. My Roxanne geranium's doing well. Everything else looks fine. I need to really get some of this ajuga out. It's starting to get too close to my, not hellebores. Yeah, hellebores. Yeah, that's what they're called. My coral bells. That's what I like calling them, coral bells. All this is doing good. Hydrangeas are doing good. Trees are doing good. The oak leaf, look at that. It's, okay, again, we're hot and humid, okay? And look, that oak leaf hydrangea went from white to that pretty pink without cold. That's all late spring, early summer. That's amazing. I'll see if I can find the name of that oak leaf hydrangea. Because in our area, we don't get the benefit of the colors changing from the cold. So that's a big perk. All this is looking good. Everything's looking great here. Everything's looking good. Yes. Yes. Doing good. Yes. Yes. Still got to get so much in the ground, but I can't. It's too wet. I feel like I'm never going to get my garden in order. It's not going to go from garden mess to garden bless with all this rain. But look at this variegated hydrangea. You can see how wet this is, and it's doing just fine. My pretty little maple tree, spider leaf, fatsia, that'll get so much bigger, and the variegation will come on the leaves. You can see that this one is already starting its variegation, and so those will pick up too. But all of this is doing well. Okay, update. A quick update for everyone on the little honey oak leaf hydrangea that we dug up and put in this pot to recuperate. It is perked up. It is not limpy. You can kind of see how the leaves have perked up. They're still showing this spotting, but I do believe that the spotting was not causing the wilting. I do believe the roots were somehow compromised. So I'm going to let this just grow and continue on in this pot in this sheltered area. And as it gets a little bit larger, we'll put it back into the landscape. But yay, everyone. I need to clean that out because some of that has bit the dust. But all this looks good. Well, that salvia doesn't look to be doing so good. But I think that's because actually I came out here yesterday and a big limb had fallen on it. So I think that's just from a limb falling. More of that phlox. I mean, that thing is stiff, so it's very strong and sturdy, and it's not in a heavily dry spot either. So and there's the wind blowing it, and look, it's handling it just fine. I need to spread this around my garden more. I do. But all this looks to be faring well. I mean, the weeds are loving life, although I do let the clover grow, because I actually love picking clover and smelling it. I think clover smells so good. But this piece of grass, and I'm going to find its starting spot. At least I think I'm going to find it. Maybe I'm not. Oh, here it is. Oh, well, I got part of it. Let's see. Aha, got you. All right. Normally I would take this and cut it and then plug it into low spots in my yard, and let it just, take root and continue growing, because I do get low spots. So I will do that, but I'm not going to do that. But I am pulling oak tree babies every day, it seems. 30, 40, 50 of them. I can't get it on top of it. This is definitely holding a lot of water, but typically after rain, it would not be like this. This is after weeks of rain, and the water table is just so high, and my goldenrod is flopped over, so that's okay. I'll help it perk back up. But everything over here looks fine. I mean, my azalea is almost sitting in water right now. But I think for a short period of time, that's going to be okay. That is a yellow knockout rose, a sunny knockout rose. It's doing great. Daylilies, of course, are doing great. All the oak tree babies are doing good. This is my yellow climbing rose. It's a oh shoot, they come in white and yellow. I keep forgetting. I'll think of it. Lady Banks, that's it. Lady Banks. You know, this rose and that rose are both getting defoliated. Why? Is there a bug eating them? I mean, what's going on? Are they the wind is knocking all the leaves off? I am at a loss. What is with this side? What is with this section? I don't know what's going on. My viburnum is getting taller. I'm going to train that hopefully into a tree. I love to train things into little tree shapes because I like to be able to have the space underneath it to grow more stuff. And with the tree form, you get all the pretty flowers and leaf structure and everything still, but then you get the extra real estate underneath to plant more things. It's probably why I like doing it. This little section right here, even though it's moist, it seems to be okay because that's a lantana. It's doing okay. You can see my little weed pile right here. I came out and pulled some yesterday. My asparagus. I did meet someone who grew asparagus on the regular, and she said that, so this is a female because it has the little berries. Anyway, she said that you cannot transplant these. You cannot dig them up and replant them. So I guess what I'll do is just stake them up real good so that they're not flopping over, and leave them here until my other ones finally start producing that I'm putting in the garden up there. So all this is doing fine. In fact, I haven't walked over to the strawberries. Ugh, I might regret walking over here. Whew, I'm wearing waterproof shoes, but all right, let's see. First of all, let's get this leaf. Let's get this leaf. You can't be having these leaves stay on. We gotta get rid of them. All right, well, we got some strawberries back here. Aw, that one got nibbled on. Scott won't like that. Get that weed. Oh, no water in the shoes. No water in the shoes. Get this dead leaf. Ooh, and that one. Got to get these off because you don't want rot to set in and spread. Like if it, like if there's any kind of disease or anything, you don't want it spreading. You don't want it taking hold. All right, I obviously have a potato in this. Yep, sure do. Hello. I will now have to come back out and take care of the potato. This little plant has stayed little. It must not get enough sunlight. All right, so everything looks good back here. And tell Scott that he does not have any real ripe strawberries yet. And some way, somehow, some bug might have been a bird, found his strawberry that was. And if the rain ever stops, I will come out here and spray to protect these plants from disease. But I mean, it doesn't do any good to spray and then it rains again, right? That's just like a waste of spraying. So my balloon flower's fallen over. Oh, where did you come from? You must have got blown all the way over here. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I'll cut you up in a little bit. All this looks to be doing good. Of course, this is more raised up, more of a raised bed. So it's doing good, all this stuff. My Vitex that I propagated, it is definitely ready to get planted up out in the garden, but it's blooming. My dianthus is still doing good over here. The maple is still dead. I don't know why I keep it. I keep just hoping that a spark of life will come back to it. My azaleas are fine. All this is fine. So far, really, the only things that really succumb to the water that I've seen so far is the Dusty Miller. No matter where it's planted, it does not appear to be doing well. Everything else, oh, my blueberry got knocked over by the strong winds. Every time it gets knocked over, I just know those blueberries are going to go rolling off. All this is fine, though. Let's look in the back garden. All right, this is a mess because it's like a catch-all area over here because it's kind of sheltered. But, I mean, my daisies are doing good. Penstemons doing good. Now, this is also a raised up bed. It's raised up about 1 block thickness, which is about 4 inches. And now this phlox is different. This phlox is not as sturdy and it does fall over. It's pretty though. That daisy's doing good. That speedwell's doing good, although it is kind of flopped. Probably that's because it is a little too strong with too much water. I think that's a butterfly bush there, but it's still in its pot, so it should do well. That rose is also getting defoliated. Oh, I'm gonna have to research that. I still need to come out and trim out the blood drawn. I mean, it draws blood. Never plant a Chinese holly tree. Ugh. I mean, y'all look at this. This is crazy. It looks like a flower, doesn't it? Oh, Well, I don't care. But doesn't that look like a flower? It does, but it's not. It's not. This is just going to grow into a longer stem, and those leaves are going to spread out. Anyway, but it is sharp. It is very sharp. And especially the more mature they are, they don't give. There's no give in that needle. You hear that? I mean, it's just sharp. And when you stand up, this is why I trimmed it up. When I used to stand up, this would poke me in the top of the head. Oh my goodness. So I need to come and clean it up so it stays in this tree form. I don't want anything growing on the bottom. Plus, when I get on my hands and knees in there, my hands might fall on one and get poked. My strawberries in here look to be okay. And then I have, oh no, what? Oh, one of my cosmos. Oh, bit the dust. I don't know how that happened. Oh well, you go down here now. All right. But this one is still alive, thank goodness. But now it's going to have to go into a pot because, well, no, I can put it somewhere else. I'll figure out a place. Some more orange marmalade. I got two more. I just love their shiny little leaves. So that's good. If my other ones out there die from the rain, I have 2 more to replace if one dies. And then my canna lilies are popping up. And then my autumn ferns are doing fine. Okay, let me get this trash. Oh, this trash bag. This is an Astilbe. It came like this. I got this off the Save Me Dying I'm Dying rack at the store. And so I have it stored there right now out of the sunlight just to protect it. But everything over here looks to be doing okay. The storm wind has blown things into this area. Frog in a blender. They're huge. So all this is doing fine for now. You know, my maple tree, it's the winter orange maple, same variety as the one that passed from the other area in the yard. This one's more sheltered. It's doing better. The soil over here probably was better amended than the soil over there. So I'm going to blame it on the soil, holding too much moisture, because the one that I had out there is the one that died. I broke down and spent money on on one of these little mosquito plant things. I bought them in the past, and I think they're hard to keep alive, but I bought another one to see if maybe I've improved my skills. Everything is like knocked over. Like, look at all this. This is all from the storm. Anyway, but, citronella, but it does smell good. I just rubbed it, and now it smells real good on my hands. But anyway, these are all the plants that I have to plant and get in the ground. I still have all these to do. I just need some dry weather, y'all. Dry weather, but thank you for the dry, clear skies right now. It rained earlier, and now it's the clouds are high, and it doesn't look like it's going to rain anymore, which is good because I have a client that is moving today, and I don't want them to have to move in the rain. My hibiscus fell over. This is it's a yellow hibiscus, and it's hardy, but it's fuzzy. Like, that's fuzz. So I'm not sure what variety it is. It just said yellow hardy hibiscus. Yeah. So much to do, y'all. So much to do. And I still have shrubs I need to get planted in the ground. I need some dryness. All right, well, that's it for me, y'all. As you can see, I have a lot still left to do in the yard. It is still quite a mess, but I am slowly working on it. And good thing that, I only really lost, those Dusty Millers, you can buy those in 4-inch containers, and they grow really well in a season. They are typically annuals, but mine have overwintered and stayed in the ground. But anyway, they don't like a lot of water, and they're showing it. So they're deteriorating. But Dusty Millers you can pretty much find all season long because they are a bedding plant. So I'm fairly confident that I can go to any store right now and find me some Dusty Miller to replace the ones that have died. But also with that is the new opportunity to plant something different and new. And so, something else might go in its place. But I do like that silvery white texture of the leaves. And then the delphiniums, which I think when I planted them, I mentioned in the video that I've tried growing them before and didn't have good success. That's twice now in the ground. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I buy them in the future, I will put them in pots. I don't think I'll put them in the ground, not until my soil is fully amended and that rich loamy texture. But my soil is still so far from the loam texture that, it's still heavy clay. Even with a little bit of amendments that I put into it, it still holds on to that water. And also, really, when I think about it, I really can't make that determination because we've had unusual weather. And so if I was a scientist, I would say, well, the control really isn't there. You've had wild and crazy weather, so there's not a control group, not crazy weather in the ground in that same type of soil for me to compare it to. So, maybe I will forget and then I'll plant them again in the ground. But anyway, I will try to plant them with better amended soil, maybe higher up in the landscape or in different parts of the landscape that is already built up higher, and maybe that'll help. So anyway, I hope you learned something today about hot and humid, rainy environment. And if you have an area like mine that rains a lot, you can feel confident that you can plant a lot of things, and they won't succumb to the moisture. I was very shocked the lantana is doing as good as it's doing, because that is a dry plant. Like it can do good in the desert. It doesn't need a lot of water. It thrives in the heat of the summer and in the drought of the summer. So I was surprised to see that. But anyway, I hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully when I get things more cleaned up, we'll do a better tour where you can see the garden and how pretty it is. I really need to clean up that west side with all the rose bushes and everything growing so closely together, blocking that path. I need to just get in there and get that all cleared up, because that is such a pretty side of my yard. And right now it looks like a jungle, so I'm not very proud of it, but it is what it is. I just haven't been able to get out there with all this rainy weather. So forgive me, y'all, but I hope you liked and enjoyed it. And if you did, hit that like button and subscribe so you can be notified of all of our other videos. And we also have some other projects that we have going on that we want to update everyone with as well. So hit that subscribe button so you can be notified. Until next time, have a wonderful day and be blessed.